Now, there is one thing about Blender that I have been ignoring, and that is geometry nodes, and that's mainly because I didn't think I could use it within precision modeling. But how would I be able to actually know if I can or can't use this if I don't know nodes itself? So I gave myself the challenge. I want to learn geometry nodes in less than 1 day and be able to create this by the end of the day. Now, there's no way on earth I would be able to sort of wrangle the entire node world in one go like that, so I needed to call in some backup, and that was Kamurai right there. If you have no idea who Kamurai is, this here is some of the stuff that he's making on his YouTube channel. It is absolutely awesome stuff. He's just exploring nodes and covering new things that he's finding that nobody else covers. So that's why I got in contact with him. He told me that it could be possible to do in 1 day. He made me a little playlist, and this is what happened. To start it all off, I needed to learn the absolute fundamental basics of geometry nodes because I literally had no idea what they were, and in a nutshell, they're basically a modifier that you get to custom create to do whatever it is you want. They are so incredibly powerful. Anyway, once I learned the fundamentals, this here was the end result right there. And it's sort of this weird alien rock modifier, and it's very interesting the way that this works. From there, I went and learnt instancing and fields. Now this one was a little bit harder to understand. I definitely understood instancing very well, but fields, I still need to get my head around that, and I think I just need to play around a little bit more to understand it concretely, but I do see the power of it. Once I played with that, this here was the end result. I had these two different ones. The space galaxy sort of looking things did a lot about maths and signs and all the rest, and the next one was sort of showing how quickly and easily you can make something that looks really complicated, but is actually very simple to make. Then I had to go and understand extrusion and really how to select things with nodes, because that is something that's going to be very important when it comes to precision modeling, because I need to precisely be able to select parts, extrude them, scale them to whatever the size is that I want. Now, it is a little bit hard because it's mainly done through a percentage, so there's a lot of conversion math going on here to make it work with millimeter precision. But there's nothing really to show here, but I got my head around it because all I really did was sort of learn how to extrude, then select the face of the extrusion and go forward and forward and forward from there. From there, I basically meshed everything that I learned into one project, which is this sphere here, and it was quite interesting. It had a lot to do with fields, how to control extrusions with the fields themselves, and then everything there is instant, so it's actually really quick. It's really quite some powerful stuff. And then going from there, I had a pep talk with Kamurai, and I just had that sort of a discussion with him to sort of tell him all the things that I've learned, things that I'm starting to see the pattern of, and how would I actually be able to create that pencil pot. And there were little gaps in the knowledge that I had, but I was hoping that I was going to learn that later on. So the next part was taking on Kamurai's node challenges. So if you're wanting these node challenges, they're linked down below, and what it basically is a file that you can download completely for free, by the way, and you basically have to get the outcome that is created by the nodes that are provided. And it's a brilliant way of learning geometry nodes once you understand the fundamentals, to really show you that how they can all be put together to get the outcomes. So really worth going. I did that, and then from there it was the moment of truth. I had to dive in and try and create the pencil pot from scratch. To start off with, I went completely on my own here, and I got pretty far. Like, I got to this point here, which I'm proud of, but at the end of the day, it's not the pencil pot. And I also had internal geometry, and the walls weren't exactly absolute precision accurate, so I had to ask for some help. So I did a short call with Kamurai, and from there, it was all to do with me missing one node, which I didn't realize there was a node called the index node, which let me sort of really select the faces through a series, and then that's how I was able to get the levels, and then that's pretty much the big one that I had to fix. So from there, we worked together to get the final outcome, just sort of working out the maths to get the walls absolutely precision, millimeter accurate, no matter how big or small or how many little cubby holes I add to this procedural sort of geometry node setup or modifier that's going to create these pencil pots from now on. And on top of that, there was the internal geometry, which he actually had to go and take a look at because it's something that sort of doesn't really pop up that often because I'm wanting to use it in such a precise manner. And all that was a self boolean. And then by the end of that, we got this result here, which I am so happy with. This is truly, it's awesome because you can put in any size you want, as many cuts as you want, change the height of things. I'm able to add a lot more to this, but for the very beginning here, I'm really happy and proud with how this has gone. And I have to say, I think I've fallen in love with geometry nodes. Now, there is a lot more left to geometry nodes. Of course, the roadmap is huge in Blender. In fact, I think this year's sort of mantra is node everything, and I can't wait till they really do node everything. Now, I'm going to be covering a lot more about geometry nodes here on Maker Tales. I'm going to make sure that it's all 3D printing specific, how to make cool things that can be 3D printed, because there's a whole bunch of things. Like, really, all this here, all these designs that I'm showing right this minute, they could all be made procedurally with geometry nodes. And not only that, because it's done with geometry nodes, they can be all changed super quickly and easily. So I'm definitely going to be exploring on that. And in fact, I might even go and make a little free course here, as well as a paid course that's going to go into the nitty-gritty 3D printing aspect style of that. Anyway, so that there was my exploration of geometry nodes. If you want to hear it from Kamurai, here it is.
Well, you should be proud of yourself at least. You came a long way.
So do I get the thumbs up from you?
You get the thumbs up. I approve.
Well, he's basically saying that I've learned geometry nodes. Well, I've learned the first 10% of geometry nodes. There's so much more that I need to sort of really sink my teeth into, and I can't wait to. And I really encourage that all of you take a look at it too. If you're wanting to have a go at the playlist that I had a go at, that is going to be linked down in the description as well. And I can't wait to see what you've created when you go through that. A huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are absolutely awesome, and without you I wouldn't be able to do Maker Tales. It really means so much. And a big thank you to my VIP makers, Jem Ozkanak and David Fernandez. It really means a lot. And if you're enjoying what I'm making here, you think I'm worthy of your support, I would love to see you there too. Remember that we have a Discord, and that is linked down in the description. Thank you for watching, keep making, and let the quest continue.